Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight we have a good one here. It is the race replay from the Friday night 802 Busch Series here at Michigan. Tonight will be, I believe, race number 17 here, and I tell you what, it's going to be a good one here. 85 laps going to be the distance, and looks like here, wrapping up qualifying, looks like Steve Ritter will be at the top of the charts here. Logan Cougar in P number 2, then Ken Kuko, Chad Coleman, and then Richard Beasley here rounding out the top 5. But what do we say we head down trackside and get ready to go through tonight's starting lineup. So here we go, folks. Tonight's starting lineup will look like the following if we get the right one rocking and rolling, of course that is. But yeah, Steve Ritter will lead the field to the green flag. Logan Cougar in the 80 machine will roll off to his outside on the front row. Ken Kuko in the 51 machine will start P number 3, and to his outside starting in fourth, the 38 of Chad Coleman. Richard Beasley in the 28 machine will round out the top 5. Joe Hudson in the 23 will start in 6th, 7th, going to P number 7 will be the 91 car of Nick Aslin. Rob Lowell in the 21 will start in 8th. Cody McCorkle in the 82 machine will roll off 9th, and rounding out the top 10 here will be the 46 of Dustin Coggins. Frank Zingen in the 62 machine will start P number 11. 12th going to Rick Kennedy in the 10 machine. 13th will be the 1 car of Brandon Guerin. George Ledsma in the 67 will start 14th. 15th going to Stoney Benfield in the 75, and Joey Gattina in the 14 machine will start in P number 16. 17th going to the 11 car of Kenny Reel. Ron Holyfield in the 25 will start 18th. 19th will be Bryson Anderson in the 32, and Steve Vest in the 60 will start 20th. 21st going to Scott Simley. 22nd is Mike Kelly. 23rd, Johnny Barker. Gerald Livingston will start 24th here tonight and round out the field here. So 24 cars ready to do battle, and just as we get ready to rock and roll, Dustin Coggins here having connection issues on this Friday night. He will drop on out, so Coggin, who was supposed to start 10th, will have to try and get back into the server and get things rocking and rolling. Oh man, big time drama because Coggin is big time in the points fight, especially with our points leader, Cody Gibson in the 7 machine not making the call here tonight. So I think Logan Cougar just having to start this race here, and that 80 machine could take over the points lead. But here we go. The iRacing pace car here heads off of pit road, and the field ready to go. Green flag racing here at Michigan. Steve Ritter on the loud pedal here, and we go green flag racing as the field gets up through the gears, getting rocking and rolling, trying to get up to speed as we see 2 by 2 throughout the field heading down into turn number 1. Who are able to stay on the loud pedal a little bit longer. He will take the race lead here down the back straightaway. Everyone else though right underneath a blanket here. We'll take a look here heading into turn number 3. Contact there between the 1 and the 10 machine. That will send Rick Kennedy there sideways, and that will bring out our first caution here of the evening. As first caution happening right and early in this one, as it looks like turn number 3, lap number 1, few cars with some damage. I think the worst end of that one, the 1 car of Brandon Guerin. Guerin looking like having some damage on both the front and the rear of that race car, so we'll probably be seeing that 1 car quite a bit here on pit road, try and get some of that damage repaired here. Rick Kennedy, of course, another one of those cars involved in this one, and Kennedy looks like just some scrapes on the left side of that race car there. You can see right around that number. Definitely a little bit of damage, but don't see any panels really pushed on in, anything like that. The same cannot, though, be said for the 75 machine, as Benfield here having a decent amount of front end damage here on that 75. So we'll see all 3 cars probably involved in this caution here heading down to pit road. The question is, do we see anyone else? Because I heard fuel could be right on the edge to try and stretch it. So we'll have to see what will be the call here. It looks like, of course, leaders staying on out. First one, though, to dive on in, the 23 machine of Joe Hudson. Then we'll see some of those cars here involved in that caution. And a few other, the 14 machine jumping on down, the 43 as well as the 60, and then pretty much everyone here behind those cars involved trying to take some fuel here early. So caution number 1 here early in this one on lap number 1. Looks like Dustin Coggin able to make it back here out on the racing surface. So the 46 machine able to get back in, and now with 2 laps completed, I believe the 46 machine will be about 2 laps down. So he's going to have to hope for at least 2 more cautions, try and get that lucky dog or that wave around and get back on the lead lap here. But his night far from over as long as he still stays in this race. as the top 5 looking a little bit different than how we started here on lap number 1. Of course, Logan Cougar taking over the point here. He will lead the field back to the green flag, but now Chad Coleman up to P number 2. Kuko able to stay P number 3. Ritter back to 4th. And then Beasley here once again rounding out the top 5 as it looks like Logan going to choose the outside here on the restart. So the rest of the field going to double file on up. Lights are out at the MIS Speedway here. So next time by, we are going back to green flag racing. Like I said before, looks like everyone that was involved in that caution here back out on the racetrack. So 23 cars technically took the green flag, but we of course have a full 24 cars out here racing currently, as Brandon Garner looks like able to get that nose damage repaired on the one car. The rear end though on the one still a little bit beat up, and a big fast track like MIS is here tonight. Every sort of bit of damage here matters on these race cars. So should be interesting to see what kind of pace the one car can try and hold on to. As here we go, the field heading through turns number 3 and 4. We get ready to head back to green flag racing here. Logan Kogar here on the loud pedal. Chad Coleman gets a pretty decent start, but the 80 machine here will be by himself by the time they get into turn number 1, as we get him try to wind back up to full speed here tonight. Definitely takes, a little bit more than just that first little straightaway heading into 1. By the time they get back to the start finish line though, they are at full steam ahead here as we take a look here. Battle for P number 3 here as the 28 machine of Beasley takes a peek to the inside of the 51, and should be interesting to see if anyone decides to save some fuel or if everyone's trying to go from it for this point on. Kuko able to get a pretty good run here down the front straightaway, able to get actually to the outside of Chad Coleman. So the 51 machine definitely trying to push here to some of that clean air, and he's going to have a good run here down the back straightaway. Going to get some draft help here from the 80 as well. That always makes that little bit of difference, as we see the 80 then put some dirty air on the 38, and that's kind of the name of the game, especially at a track like this. You want to try and help people with the draft here down the straightaway, but as soon as you get in the corners, you want that nose and clean air, get that downforce, and prevent that front end from kind of taking off on you and trying to wear out those front tires, which we'll see here tonight. This place being as fast as it is definitely wears down the tires in a very quick fashion, as one car a little bit sideways here off of turn number 2. That is a 62 machine of Frank Zingen. Zingen able to keep that car rocking and rolling. A big time save, lost a few spots, but will continue to race another lap here in this one. Right in front of them there, Gerald Livingston makes the pass there on Rob Lowell. So Livingston right now biggest mover of the race, currently up 15 spots. So 97 machine of course started deep in this one, dead last here. Did not pit under that last stop, and just trying to make his way up to the front of this one. Right now doing just that, as we see him get around the 91 machine as well there off of turn number 4. So definitely a few different strategies being run here currently in this one. I mean, we can see people really pushing hard at the front of the pack, like, we see our top 5 trying to break on away. Then you got a whole bunch of gaggle of cars here. It seems like the 91 kind of leading the pace so far for this second pack, starting to form on up just a little bit here in this one. But of course, some guys in this secondary pack are already trying to push and get on through it. One of them being the 1 car of Brandon Guerin. Guerin has been ripping the top side here of this racetrack, trying to keep that momentum in that race car, and doing just that. He is making his way up through the field already, so you gotta wonder, that rear damage maybe not hurting the car as much as one would think. Another car here slicing and dicing his way up through the field. The 43 machine of Mike Kelly. Kelly, of course, had the weekend sweep last weekend at North Wilkesboro. Would love to make it 3 wins in a row here with the 802 iRacing League, but has a little bit of work cut out for him in this one. Of course, did not take a time in qualifying, started deep in the pack in this one. Did come down onto pit road there under that lap 1 caution, so he could have, an extra lap of fuel in that 43 machine. But he is currently still mired pretty deep in the pack here in this one, trying to get 13th away from Frank Zingen there. Out in front, we got a challenge for the race lead here. Ken Kuko to the inside of Logan Kogar. Logan, of course, trying to hang on to this race lead. Would love the extra points for the most laps led. That would go big time with this championship battle, as leaving tonight, this 80 machine will probably take over that points fight. Of course, the 80 machine in a pretty good battle in points with the 46 of Dustin Coggin, who still sits 2 laps down. And then also the 1 car of Brandon Guerin. He is in the mix as well here with, still quite a bit of racing left in this season. I mean, we take a look, at the schedule here, and there are still 9 more races. So, that could make a big time difference when all things are said and done. But right now, the 80 machine doing exactly what he needs to do here, and that is be out front, and he's doing just that, as his first pack looks like about 8 cars or so here in this lead pack, as they have kind of broken on away here from, looks like 9th on back. Now currently the 21 machine of Rob Lowell sits P number 9. As, what do you say with the battle for the race lead going on? We do a little turn 3, turn it up here from Michigan. I tell you what, folks, you gotta love the sounds here of these, B cars at Michigan. Always some really awesome stuff. As out in front, though, Logan Cougar is still holding strong here, fending off Ken Kuko for that race lead, as still no real big change besides Mike Kelly now trying to break away from that second pack here. This time by at the start finish line, we will take a look here at lap times for the 43 machine. Last time by at 40.46, about 0.2 of a second faster than the race leaders, as these guys getting racy, getting sideways, as Logan Cougar having a bit of a moment there through 3 and 4 will get a piece of the wall. And it looks like Chad Coleman was in the right place with the right time, able to wrap that bottom side, and will take over this race lead here, coming to 20 laps in this one. Though it won't be easy now. We got some new faces up here for this race, for the race lead, as now Cody McCorkle here in the 82 Ream machine. He is trying to take over this race lead here. Richard Beasley right there as well. Gave the 51 machine a pretty good push there down the front straightaway. Was wow, Kuko big time sideways there off of turn number 2. Beasley will sling it to the inside of that 51. Also in this mix, of course, you can't forget about Steve Ritter, Kenny Reel, Gerald Livingston as well. But as these guys are really duking it on out, that only slows them on down, allows the likes of Mike Kelly maybe to try and get on up in there. Looks like Ron Holyfield here trying to get around the 21 machine of Rob Lowell. Yeah, a couple of good battles here going on out on the Speedway. The battle for the race lead kind of cooled on off just a little bit here, as it looks like Coleman Kuko going to run 1-2 here, at least down the front straightaway. Beasley looks like he is able to get back by McCorkle for that third position. Look at this. Oh, Logan's right there, back ready to try and get back to that race lead here in this one. Deeper in the field here, Bryson Anderson, Steve Vest here side by side. Looks like Anderson, though, a little loose there through 1 and 2. That car kind of stepped on out, was able to keep it down to that bottom side, hang on to that race car, but looks like we'll lose 1 spot because of it, but could have been a lot more worse. But you can see those guys kind of getting close to about a half a lap back from the race leaders, as those race leaders still trying to sort themselves out here. Kenny Reel able to get around Cody McCorkle. You got to wonder, maybe the 82 machine of McCorkle maybe used up those tires a little bit too early in this run. He was up to, I think, the best P number 2 spot, but since kind of getting stuck to that outside compared to most of the cars around him, he has since kind of fallen on back now, once again back outside of the top 5. As Mike Kelly definitely reeling in these leaders still lap after lap. So that 43 machine, he might be in the mix here in about 5 or so laps. He's about a second and a half back here from Gerald Livingston in 8th, and with these guys still battling it on out. that only has the 43 machine, you know, licking his chops more and more. Yeah, green flag laps definitely flying on by at this place. Already about to be 25 laps completed here in this one. Leaves about 60 left on the deck, and probably right around, you know, lap 30 to 35, we could see guys that wanted to stop this race definitely head down to pit road and, you know, try and just keep the pace on up for this one and not have to worry about saving fuel. And if someone's really brave, they could try and make it to that magical, you know, 40 to 43 lap number, and there you could maybe, just maybe, save enough to the end. The real question it comes down to here with those two strategies is how much time are you giving up with saving fuel? Richard Beasley up to P number 2, absolutely right against the fence there on entry into turn number 3. So this tide ride of Beasley looking pretty sporty late in this run. Going to try and track down Chad Coleman out in front and maybe try and take over this race lead, as once again the 28 machine here puts it on the fence on corner entry. And, you know, you can see loses maybe a little bit of time through the corner, but absolutely gets some massive runs down these long straightaways here at MIS. As here we go once again, Kenny Reel was able to get around Steve Ritter. Now here comes Ritter trying to make his way back up to the front of the field. Remember, Ritter walked away with the pole award in this one, so the 61 machine definitely has some speed and is always pretty good when it comes down to it for these long runs. Kenny Reel here in the wall, pretty big there in 1 and 2, so the 11 machine going to lose quite a bit of time, and you got to wonder, is everything all right on that race car? Haven't got a chance to kind of look again here on the right side of the 11, but so far able to keep at least pretty decent pace here through 3 and 4. We'll take a look here off of turn number 4 at the right side of the 11, and yeah, from what I'm seeing right now, Kenny Reel looking pretty good. Just gently bounce off the wall that time though, down the front straightaway. That was definitely not a gentle bounce off the wall. Kenny Reel now definitely having some damage on the 11 machine. Is not sure what happened, but big time late down that straightaway there, and that car all of a sudden just took off to the right and bounced against the fence a lot harder than he did in 1 and 2. And look at this, the Hot Wheels 43 machine of Mike Kelly. He is now in the mix in this first group as Logan Koger. Woo! Logan big time sideways there off of turn number 4. That tells me he used up that right rear tire, really pushing, trying to keep that race lead here, and that tire is going to continue to go away, go on from out underneath that 80. And, you know, if I'm in his position, knowing kind of the situation, I might be thinking, yeah, we'll pit on the earlier side and try and get some fresher tires on that race car, because yeah, that thing not the most comfortable, I could bet, to be behind the steering wheel of at this point. Out in front we see kind of a 3-car breakaway here with the 38 of Coleman, who has been our race leader since about the last 10 or so laps. Richard Beasley right there in the mix as well, and now here comes the 61 machine of Steve Ritter. Ritter to the inside of Beasley down on the bottom side. Beasley though going to have a run here down the back straightaway from that outside lane, and we'll get back clear from the 61. Behind them here, Kenny Reel trying to hold off Mike Kelly, but Mike Kelly continued to pick them up and put them down here at MIS. He is now up in the top 5 and looking to try and track down those race leaders in front of him. Ritter once again going to try that inside lane through 1 and 2. This time it will work as Ritter able to slam the door shut here before the back straightaway. So Ritter will get a little bit of push from the 28 machine, but Ritter going to try and run down our race leader, Chad Coleman. As we have seen one car here down on pit road so far. That was a 51 machine of Ken Kuko. Kuko now trying to get his lap back here right now to get around Coleman, but you can see the advantage of new tires. That 51 machine able to drive it in there, keep the same pace as the 38 up on the top side and have that car stick. So you can see that is what new tires can do. We'll keep an eye here on the lap times, see what kind of difference it will make, but the 51 definitely trying the short pit here in this one. Last time by, the 51 machine, even in that little bit of traffic, they're passing the leaders of 40.44, where the last time by, Chad Coleman of 41.25, so about almost a second better here with those tires. So that just goes to show how much these tires matter here around MIS. Pretty good four-car battle here, looking to shape on up for about 5th through about the 8th position. Logan Kogar here leading this pack. Then it is, of course, Cody McCorkle in the 82. Kenny Reel in the 11, then the 96 machine of Gerald Livingston. And here, maybe within a few laps, Scott Simley going to try and join in the fight. And same with the 6 car of Johnny Barker. Barker, first time into the top 10 here tonight. He sits in that 10th position currently. As it looks like we have another taker here down on pit road. Brandon Guerin here off of pit road. Looks like no penalty on the stop, taking 4 fresh tires. So the one car, another one on the early pit cycle here in this one. As Mike Kelly has kind of tracked down some more members here of this top 3. Starting to put a little bit of pressure here on the 28 machine of Beasley. So if Kelly can get on by, that'll be the first time this 43 machine here is up into the podium spot. Like I said, would love to go visit Victory Lane, make it 3 consecutive races in a row with that 43 machine here heading down to Victory Lane. And right now looking in a pretty good spot here in this one. Quite a few takers here down on pit road, and a little bit of trouble here as a 14 machine of Joey Gattina gets loose. Will tag the inside wall, and the 10 machine of Rick Kennedy will both go on around. So both cars will get their cars, I should say both drivers will get their cars righted, but definitely not the mistake that you want to make here under the green flag pit stop conditions, as both the 10 and the 14 going to lose a lot of time here to the cars around them. Mike Kelly here trying to make the move on Beasley for that 3rd position. Those 2 drivers here going side by side down the front straightaway. Mike Kelly, though, will drive it in there deep, put that left side of that race car right on that first seam on corner entry. Gets that car to rotate nicely and able to get clear there off of turn number 2. So we start to get close here to the halfway point in this one, and racing still very, very exciting in this one. We see the 80 machine here of Logan Koger heading down pit road. So Koger able to make it to pit road there safely. Looks like the 28 machine of Richard Beasley down as well. As we take a look here, Chad Coleman, Steve Ritter, Mike Kelly have yet to visit pit road here in this one, though this might be the time. Like I said, about 40 laps, you make it with fuel, as we see both Coleman and Ritter here heading to pit road in this one. Looks like both of them able to get down onto pit road here nice and safely. Also heading down Kenny Reel, Gerald Livingston, and Nick Aslin able to get down as well. So about 5 cars down on pit road there that time by, and pretty much all the drivers here out on the racetrack able to have that extra lap of fuel with topping on off under that first caution. So that definitely working out pretty well here for these drivers, as Mike Kelly able to go yet another lap. Same with the 82. Looks like this time by the 21 machine of Rob Lowell. He definitely was in fuel save mode, and the 21 machine able to make it just about the halfway point. So it should be really close to see if the 62 of Frank Zingen and the 21 machine of Rob Lowell can make it here to the end of this one. As I have a feeling here, we'll see Mike Kelly here diving down to pit road. Yes, we will. So our current race leader, Mike Kelly here, heading to pit road. Big time sideways, big time lockup, but I think he was able to get it woed on up just enough. Cody McCorkle also another one pushing the envelope there in that one. But so far looking pretty good. It looks like no driver here so far in this one with any sort of pit road penalty or anything like that, besides the 10 car of Rick Kennedy. One car yet to visit pit road. That is this car right here, the black 23 machine of Joe Hudson. Looks like this time by, I'm hearing radio chatter from the 23 team. Hudson heading in here. So the final car here to hit pit road will be the 23 machine of Joe Hudson. That will pretty much complete the green flag pit stops here in this one. And it looks like with that short pit by the 51 machine, Ken Kuko out in front by quite a bit of a margin, over 7 seconds over Richard Beasley. But Beasley has Chad Coleman there pretty close to his back bumper. And Mike Kelly right there in the mix. Same with Steve Ritter. As not that time by, but the lap before there was the cross flags in this one. So this race officially already halfway done here at Michigan. So definitely flying on by here tonight. So far, only one caution here to make up this race that happened at lap number 1. We have just completed a green flag pit cycle here, but it is the 51 machine with that early pit stop with a hefty advantage over P number 2. Down the front straightaway here, a little bit of battle for position. That is the 33 machine and the 75. Scott Simley here with some of the freshest tires with the cars he's currently racing on around. So we'll see Simley probably slicing and dicing his way up to about that 7th position, at least for the time being. Then has to make up quite a bit of time to get to Kenny Reel, as Simley in the back of Koger. That was almost a big time moment there as 80 machine had to save that race car there to prevent that thing from going on around. As wow, these guys still racing hard for every position here. Logan here trying to defend the spot from Gerald Livingston. So far going to do that, but Logan will get a piece of the wall there down the back straightaway, but that doesn't matter. He had enough of a run. He's able to at least hang on to P number 8 for at least another straightaway. Chad Coleman able to get around Richard Beasley, so Coleman up to P number 2. Mike Kelly now going to try and work over that 28 machine here as well. A little bit further back in the back here, Stoney Benfield here putting some pressure on Frank Zingen for a top 10 running spot here. Zingen having the better tires, that 62 machine probably going to be able to drive away from that 75 just that little bit here. Once again, Gerald Livingston working on the 80 this time will complete the job, as Gerald Livingston there in that Firehouse Subs number 96 machine will now take over P number 8 here. Up towards the top 3 here, Mike Kelly able to get around that 28 machine, so he will be able to make it. And here we go, a strategy call here from the 21, Rob Lowell, down on pit road here on 48. This tells me that pretty much no one is good to the end on fuel. Rob Lowell going to try and be the first driver here to pit road to try and top on off to confirm that he can make it to the end. And I kind of like this call as long as he can stay in the lucky dog spot. It looks like just a splash and go here from the 21 as he will get that thing rolling. But our race leader, Ken Kuko, when the green flag pit stops kind of cycled on out, had about a 7.5 second lead over second. Well, that lead has dwindled on down to about a 1.5 seconds as Chad Coleman, Mike Kelly definitely putting down some really, really good laps last time by. Ken Kuko a 41.16, whereas Coleman a 40.3, Mike Kelly a 40.2. Oh, this could slow them down just this little bit. Kelly and Coleman gonna start battling for that second position here. Mike Kelly trying to work that bottom side. Chad Coleman in the 38 machine up top. Coleman doesn't get too killer of a run. They will both be dead even here down the back straightaway. Coleman though will drive that car in deep, gonna try and stay to that right front fender of the 43 as Kelly puts that splitter right to that inside lane there, making it work nicely, still to the inside. Now the question is, where do they split this 51? Mike Kelly gonna try and use the 51 as a pick on Coleman. Couldn't quite time it out there, but it looks like able to slow Coleman up just that little bit as new race leader out in front. It is Mike Kelly here in the 43 machine. So Kelly looking in a really good spot here to try and go 3 in a row. Chad Coleman now sits in second. Richard Beasley now up to P number 3 as Ken Kuko, doesn't want to give up too much time. Was in with this pack as well. So remember, he last pitted on lap number 30. So he's probably looking right around the 60 lap mark to come on down for the final time and see what kind of time he can make on up with those fresher tires. A little bit deeper in the field here, the 91 machine of Nick Aslin. Aslin able to make the pass there on the 6 car of Johnny Barker. As it looks like Barker's pace definitely backed on up quite a bit here from what he was kind of running before. So I think the 6 machine going to try and maybe save a little bit of fuel here currently. At least that's what I'm trying to guess here. That's all it is. It's like some old school MIS racing where it's all about that fuel mileage, that fuel number. And that is what we're seeing here tonight here for the 802 Busch Series as well. Scott Simley there able to get around Kenny Reel for that 6th position. Further up towards the front here, Steve Ritter putting some big time pressure here on the Tide ride. So Ritter down low in the red number 61. Beasley up top in the 28. Beasley quite a bit sideways there, but kept his foot in it. Was able to build up that run. They will stay side by side down the back straightaway, but Ritter will probably drive it in there deep. Beasley chooses to go right against the fence there. I don't think that quite worked out. I think Beasley may have got a piece of the wall there. But that puts Steve Ritter here back up in a podium spot. With about 30 laps to go here tonight in this one. So we are starting to get pretty close here to our countdown clock. Of course, that heads on over with about 25 laps left in the race. So like I said kind of earlier in this race, the driver having a tough night here. Not even his own doing. Dustin Coggin here in this 46 machine still sits about 2 laps down, and with a few other drivers sitting 1 lap down, you know, not even in the lucky dog spot. Coggin will have to try and get a wave around here during this if he gets another caution, but so far has yet to get one. So this 46 machine still sits 2 laps down here tonight. Battle starting to heat on up here a little bit between the 80 and the 91 here out on the Speedway. Logan Cougar, remember, led about the first 20 laps of this race, and since then, I think that car having a little bit of right front damage definitely affecting the pace, because he has been, you know, really sideways a lot of times here through the corner, as well as, you know, just not having the pace. Once again, Cougar a little sideways, big time sideways here off of turn number 4, and that will actually be enough here, folks, to draw our second caution of the evening. So man, oh man, right before, you know, the likes of the 51 machine will head down pit road, we will see now our second caution of the evening, and it looks like the 21 machine of Rob Lowell will be the lucky dog candidate here in this one. So with this second caution here coming out at this point in the race here, it pretty much guarantees that most everyone can make it on fuel, because I have a feeling we'll see everyone here head down pit road, at least take fuel. The question is, do you take your final set of tires? That will definitely be, I mean, up until this point, this is definitely the most important decision here for the crew chiefs here sitting at top of the box. As once we will get back here to Green Flag Racing, we'll have about a 23 or so lap shootout to the end. As here we go, pit road open this time, And I have a feeling we'll see the 43 machine of Mike Kelly here lead the entire field here down to a very, very busy pit road. So here we go. We will take a look here at the end of pit road. We'll see who the first driver out will be, as we see some service being done on some of the cars, not all of them, as Mike Kelly, the first off of pit road. Actually, Chad Coleman might have beat the 43 machine. Both those drivers, no tires being taken. It looks like the first driver to take tires was a 61 machine of Steve Ritter, about the 7th car there off of pit road. So a split decision here on pit road at the end of this one here, folks. So don't go anywhere, folks. Here under this caution, we'll go throw it to a quick commercial break. On the other side, we will see how this will shake on out, as some drivers taking tires, some drivers not.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Alrighty, we are back here, and if the strategy on pit road wasn't enough, there was also another strategy. Joe Hudson not heading to pit road, so the 23 machine gonna stay on out and lead us back to green flag racing here. So it's gonna be Hudson Coleman here on the front row with 24 to go once we head back to green flag racing. As Hudson gonna wait here in the restart box, we'll fire on off. We'll get a good restart as a 23 machine here clears himself by the time they get to turn number 1. As everyone else here gonna try and slice and dice their way through the field. Remember, keep an eye here on the likes of the 51, the 61. Those two cars on fresh tires, gonna try and use them to their best of their advantage and get to the front of this one. Joe Hudson here trying to hang on to the race lead. Here comes the 43 machine of Mike Kelly. Those two will go side by side, but here at the start finish line, Hudson will pick up another lap led here at MIS, as he will hold off the 43 machine for at least that time by. Oh, as we get trouble here on the Speedway, the 96 machine of Gerald Livingston coming to a stop, but we don't get a caution flag. Everyone keeps it rocking and rolling for the time being. Frank Zinga and their big time damage on the 62 machine. Wow. As oh man, Frank Zinga, that car definitely broke big time damage on the 62. We'll see. And it looks like, yes, we will stay green here for the time being. Oh, as trouble here down the back straightaway. Chad Coleman will go on around. So that will now for sure bring out the caution. So after a quick incident there with no caution, now we will see our third caution here of the evening, and one of the favorites to win here tonight. Chad Coleman here going for a spin off of turn number 2. And it looks like the 38 machine trying to rip that bottom side just had the back end step out from underneath him. And it looks like the 6 car, Johnny Barker, having nowhere to go, gets into the back of Coleman. So that will bring out another caution. So about, only 3 laps ran on those set of tires. Was that going to be enough laps for the likes, the 43 of Mike Kelly, the 23 machine of Joe Hudson? Man, that's going to be a very, very tough choice here. See if those guys will head to pit road, because as you can see, Ken in the 51 already up to P number 2. Logan Cougar up to P number 3. Stoney Benfield making up a lot of spots. Same with the 6 machine of Johnny Barker. So if this race already wasn't kind of complicated enough with the strategy call, what do we do here? And it looks like Joe Hudson going to lead a handful of them to pit road there. Mike Kelly will follow suit. Scott Simley, Richard Beasley, Ron Holyfield, Nick Aslan, Cody McCorkle heading down, Kenny Reel all down as well. So, interesting call here from this one, as pretty much everyone that did take tires staying on out. Of course, no point in heading back down if you don't have any more sets of tires over the wall, but we will see how big of a difference 3 laps makes. I mean, we know tires matter a lot here. The question is, how much will these tires matter here, with now going to be inside of a 20-lap dash here to the end of this one. But with us under caution flag here, once again, we'll go over and have a quick word from our sponsors over at Premier Setup Shops. So here we are back at Michigan International Speedway here, and now the 51 machine of Ken Kuko will inherit the race lead with Joe Hudson there heading to pit road. It looks like Kuko going to choose the outside lane here. So the first driver on the freshest tires looks like will be the 43 machine of Mike Kelly, restarting in about the 10th position. So this is where it gets really, really wild, and a lot of strategies still to be sorted on out, as here we go. Logan able to get a pretty good start there, able to hang out and hang on to that P number 2 spot as Kuko gets clear heading into turn number 1. Side-by-side battle for that 3rd position though, as Stoney Benfield able to get clear from Johnny Barker right there in the mix as well. This red 61 of Steve Ritter. Remember, Ritter walked away with the Riptide Radio Pole Award here tonight. That 61 machine has a lot of speed, but here comes those new tires already as Mike Kelly and the 91 of Nick Aslan trying to make their way up through the field as well. Wide racing there for a split second through 1 and 2, but Richard Beasley, Scott Simley here battling it out big time for position. Here comes the 25 machine of Ron Holyfield as well. 25, another one of those cars here on those fresher tires here in this one. Drivers trying to get everything they can here from their race car late in this one, as they are trying to use up every little bit of racing surfaces. We pretty much have 20 cars here still out here in this race, as 4 have fallen victim here early in this one. As we see Steve Ritter here trying to get around Stony Benfield here for that position. Oh, they make contact. The 21 and, the 61 and the 75 make big time contact. As Steve Ritter across the track again. That car definitely broke, and that car gonna be out of this one. So move that up from, 4 cars out of this one. Gonna be 5, as the 61 and the 75 make big time contact there off of turn number 2. So that will draw our 4th caution here tonight, and a few drivers that this could work out for big time nicely, as the likes of trying to see who maybe has another set of tires. We'll find out if they head to pit road, of course, here with this one, as that was definitely a few more laps, about 10 laps or so. So definitely enough to make quite a bit of difference on those new tires. I mean, we saw Mike Kelly slicing his dice and his way through the field on 3-lap newer tires. He's already back up to P number 4 here. As I tell you what, with these handful of cautions here tonight, Dustin Coggin, he's back onto the lead lap, and he should be in the top 10, as I think the 75 machine going to come down pit road. Yes, he will, to get some of that damage repaired. So Dustin Coggin, from 2 laps down, missing the start of this one, he is back inside the top 10. As we will take a look here onto pit road, see who comes down to take maybe their final set of tires here in this one. Take a look here at the 67 of George Ledsma. That car jack goes up on the right side, so yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on Kenny Reel, George Ledsma, Brandon Guerin, Rob Lowell. All those cars here taking some tires and having an extra set there. Cody McCorkle, another one here in this mix as well. So this could get very interesting, because it looks like McCorkle, when it's all said and done, will restart in about the 12th position. So not too far back here. The question is, will they have enough time to get through the field with about an 11-lap shootout when it's all said and done? So once again, we're going to head to a quick commercial break and get ready to get on back here for the 4th restart of the night here at Michigan.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
So here we go, folks, back here at MIS, and we take a seat now in the stands for this 4th restart of the night. Logan Cougar back to the point, Remember, he led the first about 20 laps. He looks like elects to start on the outside lane as we get ready to rock and roll. The iRacing pace car here will make the left-hand turn down to pit road. And now it's an 11-lap shootout left in this one. How will this shake on out? It's about to get wild here, folks, as we head back to Green Flag Racing. Side by side for the race lead here down into turn number 1. Everyone trying to get as much as they can get. We'll see the field fan out, 2, 3, maybe even 4 wide, as everyone knows it is go time from here on out. Whatever the car can give you, you have to take. As well there, Johnny Barker, big time sideways. The 23 of Joe Hudson giving him a big shot in the shorts there down the back straightaway. Right now, Cougar and Kuko able to hang on to 1 and 2 for the time being. Mike Kelly right there in the mix as well. That time by at the start finish line, 2 open hands from the flagman here in this one. 10 laps left here tonight. Drivers with those fresh tires here update on their position. Cody McCorkle here up into P number 8, forcing the issue 3 wide here through 3 and 4. All 3 of the cars on the middle to bottom side in this one. So this Ream Machine 82 here on the move. Another driver here on those fresher tires, Ron Holyfield here. He sits in P number 11, Brandon Karen in 12th as well. So time is running out for the hourglass for those drivers to try and make their way up to the front here in this one. But out in front, Logan Cougar here leads now over Mike Kelly. Richard Beasley in the mix, as well as the 28 here, looking to get back here in the podium positions. Those two side by side, side drafting each other inches apart here, and that's the kind of racing MIS is known for, especially late into a race here like we're seeing tonight. Mike Kelly, big time loose there in the middle of 1 and 2. Not sure if he had to check up or put some wheel input in, not at the back of the 80 there, but a little bit of a mistake there from Mike Kelly. You don't see that too often. This opens up the door for Richard Beasley. Beasley had a chance to, really sailed in there deep, get clear of the 43, but looks like still will work on out. Beasley now up to P number 2, and look at this, fresh tires already there. Cody McCorkle, he's up into P number 4 with 7 to go. Man, and I tell you what, haymakers being thrown all throughout this top 10 here in this one. Everyone really racing their tails off in this one. 1 car in the wall big time there through 3 and 4. That is a 6 car of Johnny Barker. Barker gonna lose a lot of spots there just through 3 and 4. Falls all the way outside of the top 10. Another driver here with some fresher tires making their way up through the field. The 1 car, Brandon Guerin. Remember with Brandon, involved in the first caution here this evening. Had quite a bit of damage on both the front and the rear of the race car. But here comes the BG Graphix number 1, Brandon Guerin, inside the top 5 for the first time here tonight. And it will be now within 5 laps left in this one. Cody McCorkle here on those fresh tires. Gonna have to try and get around this 80 as quickly as possible, because Brandon Guerin starting to track down these leaders here in a hurry. McCorkle will take a peek to the inside here. They will go side by side. Contact into turn number 3. Both drivers able to hang on to their race car, but that'll slow them both up quite a bit. Now here comes Brandon Guerin right on the back bumper of the 80. Will shoot down to the inside lane, but new race leader at the start finish line with 4 to go. Now 3 wide for the race lead into 1. Brandon Guerin gonna slide up the racetrack, put Cougar up way to the top side there, but with a power move down the front straightaway and into turn number 1, Brandon Guerin will take over the point. Man, oh man, where did this one car come from here tonight? Can Brandon Guerin here steal one? He's going to have to hold off, though, Cody McCorkle for at least 3 more laps. Logan Cougar going to have his work cut out for him to try and retake the race lead with those cars in front of him on those fresher tires. A little bit deeper here in the field. Good battle here for a top 10 finishing spot as Kenny Reel, Dustin Coggin will make a little bit of contact. Here comes George Letzma as well. Letzma now will take advantage of that contact. He will be the one to head on up into the top 5 as this time by here. Quite a few cars in the wall there off of turn number 4, but we'll see popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 to go here at MIS. I tell you what, Brandon Guerin just wants to see that white flag. Once he sees that, you know, we are racing back to the checker no matter what happens here out on the speedway. Mike Kelly to the inside of the 80 machine here. Those two will go side by side. This is a battle for a podium spot here in this one, as Mike Kelly, once again, one of the lowest cars there on the speedway through 3 and 4, able to complete the pass here, coming to the white flag one more time around here at Michigan for the 802 Busch Series. Everyone hanging on out, trying to hang on to their race cars as Cody McCorkle there, big time sideways off of turn number 2, but I tell you what, he just has to make his way through 3 and 4 one more time. And Brandon Guerin only has led 3 laps here tonight, but it has been the final 3 laps off of turn number 4. Brandon Guerin is going to steal one away here in the Motor City. He will pick up the win. Cody McCorkle, I believe first ever start, will finish up on the podium, and Mike Kelly swept last week up on the podium here tonight, as we will try and chat with these 3 drivers. Have 2 of them at least so far here tonight, so we'll hear from Mike Kelly as well as Brandon Guerin here in a few moments, but of course we gotta let the one car here burn it on down here on the front straightaway, and then we will throw it over to a quick commercial break just after that to be chatting with our podium finishers. Yeah, I tell you what, it was a race of adversity here for the one machine, up and down night, but made the perfect strategy call to be able to park it down here in victory lane, as Brandon Guerin will celebrate on the front stretch here at MIS. As awesome stuff there. So like I said, folks, don't go anywhere. We will have a quick word with our podium finishers here after a quick commercial break.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, here we are back here at MIS, and the first driver we will be talking to is our third place finisher, the driver of the 43 machine. It is Mike Kelly. Mike, do you got a copy?
Hey, Brett the Jet, what's up?
How are we doing here, Mike? I mean, a P number 3. I know you probably wanted to keep that consecutive win streak, but up on the podium, man, that's pretty good as well.
Yeah, it was a good run and a good race. It was a lot of fun. Of course, a little bit frustrated because I was trying to go for that 3 in a row, and I was in position to do it. You know, I started at the back for fun. Me and Scott, my Turn 1 Heroes teammate, just decided to start at the back and stay out of the way for all the playoff guys and try to work our way up, and got up to the front, led some laps, had a pretty good strategy. I mean, I was leading the race when that that yellow with like 25 to go or whatever it was, right in that ballpark, was leading the race, and we still had to stop. I was going to be able to go till about 2, 3, 4 laps to go and just go in for a gas and go. So didn't have the race in the bag by any means. I mean, you can make an error on pit stop. Someone else's pit strategy might have worked a little better. I think there was a few guys that were going to try to stretch it and do it without stopping at all. So it wasn't in the bag by any means, but I definitely had control of the race. And we, for some reason, I didn't pay enough attention, but we only had 2 sets of tires for that race. So we had to stop twice. So there was no tires left, for any kind of late race, yellow to go in and take those tires and get an advantage. So that's one of the reasons I ran long the first run and was running long on the second run, to get it to where when we took our second set of tires on that second stop there, we would, not have any left. So we tried to get as close to the end in case any yellows came out, you'd have the freshest tires possible. So when that first yellow came out there with about 25 to go, Scott and I decided it was too early to go take that last set, because then, of course, if any kind of yellow comes out later on, you're stuck. So we rode it out, and then that yellow came out right away, only 3 or 4 laps later. And it was like we were debating taking them because, of course, if you take them at that time, you got a great shot to win. Of course, if another yellow comes out and anybody saved, which, of course, your first and second place cars did tonight, they stayed out and they rolled the dice one more, went for one more roll, and it came up 7, lucky 7 for them. And they had the tires there when we took to the track. And, again, I was just getting ready to take the lead. If it would have went green from the first yellow we had, I still was in good shape. And Chad had crashed out, and then I don't know what happened there. The car got into something in the backstretch and just flat out stopped on the track and brought out the yellow. So that's not cool. But I felt I had a really good chance at a win stolen away from me a couple times. Then, of course, those guys, as soon as that came out and those guys had new tires, you knew you were dead at that point. So I won out of all the guys that didn't have a set of tires left. That's all I could take from it. Got on the podium, and it was a fun race.
Yeah, I mean, that it was, like you said, Mike, you're the best finisher of the drivers, on your strategy. It seemed like it was the strategy call until, that last late race caution came on out. And yeah, it seemed like the name of the game here tonight was tires to keep that car turning, because it seemed like once those tires kind of came on out, it seemed like that thing was pushing like a dump truck or, almost wrecking loose. How'd your car feel late in a run?
Yeah, that's kind of what hurt when I took my last set of tires there. My car was pretty good. It could get loose, but it was as good as anybody's with with equal tires. And uh, once we got that second yellow there, and I had to stay out, it's just a 3 or 4 lap run. But that cycle, boy, I don't know. After we went back to green, it was a lot. I was going to drive around the 80 easily before that yellow came out, and then when we went back to green, it was wrecking loose. And that's what happened to me that one time. And I lost a couple spots, and Beasley got around me, which, I don't think I would have ever been able to stay out ahead of Brandon and McCorkle at all, regardless. But it delayed my process of getting back in front of the 80 and everybody else. And I barely got back to third, when I was getting ready to pass him before. So something in that yellow with the heat cycle took a lot away from my tires, and it was too loose to do anything for that.
Yeah, we saw that big time looseness there off of turn number 2, like you mentioned. And yeah, this car definitely looked like a handful, but later on tonight, man, you get a shot at maybe a little bit of redemption here at Michigan. Have the Cup cars here in just a little bit. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I'm psyched for that. Love the Cup cars at the track. And if we have a good turnout, it should really be a good race. I think we got some new guys joining tonight. And Michigan, of course, always puts on a good show. It's almost like super speedway racing. So getting my outfit on, my race suit on, and getting gloved up and helmeted up and getting ready to hop in the car and go out for some hot laps.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. Well, before you do that, Mike, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank for yet another podium finish here with the 802 Busch Series.
As always, a shout out to you, Brett, and Turn 3 Racing Network. Give a shout out to Scotty for another good finish. He just can't get the ultimate good finish so far. He's struggling. He runs good, runs up front, and then something is happening at the end that doesn't let him, get the finish that he should have had. So shout out to him, and he should be fast tonight. Shout out to Brandon there for really taking that car to the front, using the strategy and saving the tires a little bit at the beginning of the run, and then just totally charging to the front at the end. I mean, I was just watching this, as you were playing through up to the finish, and he was like 12th place with 9 laps to go. So congrats to him for getting the job done. And shout out to all the guys for putting on a good race. Thanks to all the sponsors and admins here at 802. Great fun racing. And as always, shout out to the smoking hot wife and my little dog Izzy.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. Well, Mike, we wish you best luck here as you get ready for now the Cup car here tonight. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the near future, my man.
Yeah, I hope so. I can keep it going in the right direction tonight and talk to you here in a little bit.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. I hope so as well. So that was our third place finisher, the 43 machine of Mike Kelly. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour, the driver of the one machine, Brandon Guerin, down here in Victory Lane. Brandon, do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Brett.
Alrighty, man. Well, it always seems like you do super well when it comes to these race replays. Of course, couldn't quite get the whole emotion live, but here, reliving it here tonight. How you feeling about it?
Watching it back from the replay, I mean, it's still just as cool to know that we came from, I think it was 12th or 13th on that final restart with about 10 to go. So Cody Cody, I think it's Cody. He got the jump on me there. Like, we both had fresh tires on that last restart, and he got up to the front a lot faster than I did. And I was like, oh boy, he gets out front, I'm not going to really have a chance here, maybe to get to second. But luckily he got battling, and we worked up slowly through the field and capitalized when him and Logan got side by side there. And they made a little bit of contact, so that kind of helped. But I think I was working the outside and getting such a good momentum that I still felt pretty good that I would have chased them down at that point.
Yeah, it definitely looked like that one car was on rails. you didn't quite fire on off like McCorkle did, but man, I tell you what, at the end of that run there, you were definitely flying. And of course, the move for the race lead was, of course, a 3-wide move here at MIS.
Yeah, had the momentum, and luckily I know that me and Logan had both cleared the guy with the same equal tire, so I kind of felt like I had more grip and I was a little bit more confident just being side by side with Logan. And the outside usually would prevail in that situation, but luckily I had the fresher tires, so could kind of still grip up and drive off and set sail there.
Yeah, and that you're able to do, set sail, walk away with the race win, led 3 laps, but those, of course, being the most important last 3 laps. But, you know, this race wasn't an easy one for you here tonight, involved in the first caution on lap 1, damage on both ends of the race car. I mean, how'd you juggle all that, as well as that crazy strategy late in this one?
Yeah, luckily the good part about this race being broadcasted a couple days later is I've really watched the replay back, and I'm gonna take more blame than I probably would have on Friday night for that. I mean, I knew we were 3 wide. I had my teammate Kenny go up on the inside and Rick was on the outside, and I wanted to try to hold more of the middle lane, and I kind of didn't give Rick much room to come down. So kind of he crossed over on my nose. I could have gave him a little bit more room because I could have went down more on the apron. We were wide enough that Kenny wasn't like on my door or anything, so I could have gave him more room. And then yeah, just he's sideways in front of me, so I'm slowing down. And then I got run over from behind, which it happens. Where the yellow flag wasn't out. We're still all out on the first lap of the race, so hate that I collected a couple of guys in that, but I got a lot of damage on the rear end, and it took the better half of the race to fix that. And then finally got that fixed after I want to say that second caution that had come, or yeah, the second caution because we had one on lap 1. So the second caution that kind of interrupted the green flag cycle. Got all that damage fixed and I think on that stop I just took gas only because I wanted to save tires, and I think Mike and a couple other guys did. Not too many didn't take tire or save their set of tires. And then before that caution came out with Coleman, I kind of got into a little something where it stayed green on the front stretch, and I got more damage after I kind of ran into the back of somebody because the caution never came out. So got a little damage there, and that's why then on the next pit stop I still didn't take my tires when I think Mike did and a couple other guys still took tires. I didn't take my tires there because I wanted to fix the damage and make sure I had it all fixed before I kind of went out and wasted the tires in a way. So I run the risk of it going green there, and not only do I have old tires and no shot, but I just really was more focused on making sure the damage was fixed because even earlier in the race, I couldn't get it all fixed in one caution, and the car was just so loose and I couldn't drive it even with new tires. So figured get the damage fixed, then we'll get the tires, and luckily we got another caution that set us up to have the run towards the end.
Yeah, that it did, and you were able to capitalize with that with the win here tonight. And of course, now just a little bit of time, we head over to the Cup cars at Michigan. How you feeling with the start of the playoffs, as well as trying to sweep the weekend here at MIS?
Well, sweeping the weekend is going to be a challenge, but I'm up for it. Never thought we would have that opportunity. Been kind of a tale of the same kind of seasons in both leagues. Been consistent at points, been either top 5, top 10, or we have really bad luck in a row. So hopefully we keep this up. We had 3 top 5s last weekend in North Wilkesboro, and even in the Dirt League, which never happens. I never run top 5 in the Dirt League, and we ended up doing that. So we followed it up with a win, and let's see if we keep this momentum going. So yeah, the playoffs started as you said. Excited for that. It should be going to be on edge each 3 races, and then possibility of being eliminated. So this first round, just really want to be consistent, get some finishes, and then I think it's really going to pick up next round if we can advance. So yeah, just going to try to keep my nose clean and get 3 finishes here over the next 3 weeks.
Yep, for sure, man. That's going to be the name of the game there. Well, Brandon, once again, congrats on the Busch Series win here at Michigan. But before we let you go, man, I know there's a lot of people you got to thank, whether sponsors on the car, teammates, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout out here on the broadcast.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out first, as always, to the kids, Bryson and Brody, and then shout out you for the broadcast. Great broadcast. shout out all the league sponsors. We had a couple new ones that come on this week. We had Admin Box. Got a lot of good things in the works for sponsorship in the league. So it's good to get some good runs here. And then obviously I'll thank Piston Broke guys or the Penny Stacker guys. They're my Friday night teammates, and yeah, ready to hit the track here. And I think it's already practice time, so hop in the cup car and hopefully we keep this momentum up.
Yep, for sure, man. We'll let you get suited on up and get ready to jump in this cup car. And yeah, Brandon, best of luck to your race here tonight. And I'm sure my man will be talking to you again here in the future.
Yeah, let's hope so, bro. We got a new look on the car, so I ain't gonna give it away. You gotta watch the cup broadcast, but new sponsor in the car, and yeah, let's hopefully we can go rounds in these playoffs and have some fun.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. I definitely always look forward to seeing what kind of paint scheme the one car has on, because it always looks awesome on the broadcast.
All right, Brett. We'll see you in a little bit.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was Brandon Guerin, our race winner here for the Busch Series at Michigan. So let's wrap things on up, go through tonight's race results real quick, and then get on ready for the Cup Series race that will go live at 7 p.m. here tonight. So the race results from Michigan will look like the following. Brandon Guerin will pick up the win. Cody McCorkle will finish in second, and Mike Kelly will round out the podium. Logan Koger there in the 80 machine takes over the points lead with a fourth place finish, and Richard Beasley will round out the top five. Scott Simley will bring it home in sixth. Joe Hudson in seventh. George Ledsma, a great run for him here tonight. He will finish in eighth. Kenny Reel in ninth, and Ken Kuko rounds out the top 10. Nick Aslin in the 91 machine will finish 11th, 12th going to Dustin Coggin. Ron Holyfield will finish 13th, 14th going to Rick Kennedy. Rob Lowe will bring home 15th, 16th going to Stoney Benfield. 17th is Steve Vest. Bryson Anderson will bring it home in P number 18. 19th going to Johnny Barker. Steve Ritter in 20th. 21st going to Frank Zingen. 22nd is Chad Coleman. Jared Livingston 23rd. And Joey Gattino will round out the finishing order here tonight from Michigan. So we, of course, want to thank all the league sponsors, that being BG Graphix, Riptide Radio, GStone Motorsports, Stone, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, as well as Admin Box coming on board here with the 802 guys. Awesome stuff from that. So yeah, that'll do it here for me right now, as we'll catch you in just a short bit of time for the 802 Winston Cup Series, kicking off the playoffs here at Michigan. So everyone take care, stay safe, and we will catch you later. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn Through Racing Network, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.